What? There's a light there? Today I'm back in my Juniper showing you the newest accessory I just put in, which is that little light you just saw. This is a little ambient light that fits behind your door handle and works with and in conjunction with your other little ambient lighting that's all the way around the rim of the vehicle. And one thing really cool about this light compared to any other light I've put in the car is this one works in conjunction with those ambient lights and is fully controlled from your car screen, both the color and the brightness level. Now, if you let it, the installation of these little things can be very complicated and can seem rather daunting. But hopefully in this video, I'll help break this down to where I'll make it a little bit more simple for you. It is going to come with a bunch of little mangled up wires, but the benefit is each of these 4 different wires you have, one for each door, are all the exact same, so you can't really mess them up. Next, you're going to have the actual lights themselves, these little plastic harnesses with wires out of them. Now, these are door specific, but at least on my set, they weren't labeled. But that being said, it's still fine to figure out. They're either going to go in the right place or they're not. So if they don't feel right, well, then you have the wrong one. And then there are going to be 2 general sizes. You can see here, this one here on my right, your left, is going to be the smaller one, and the larger one here on my left, your right. The smaller one is going to be the one that always goes on the front doors because this little handle grip here is smaller on the front. And if it helps you kind of figure out which one goes where, the wire is always going to go down towards where the electric part is. Now, eventually I'll show you this whole panel is going to come off. We're going to feed this little wire in through the door. But as it is right now, the wire is going to go down. You can kind of see they'll just fit nicely into this little section. You do have to wiggle it around a little bit before it actually fits well into that spot. And like I said, you can't really mess them up. If they fit in the right spot, they're the right ones. If they don't, they're not. The next step, quite simply, is I have to pull this whole door apart. I have to pull this whole little front panel off, which again, if you let it be, it's very daunting. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna blow through this in fast motion while I kind of narrate over the top of it. But if you wanna see a longer form video where I really walk through step by step of how to pull this door apart, I'll leave that little link for that video down in the description below. But if you can figure out just watching it like this, let's do that, because I just didn't wanna make this video any longer than I had to. So again, if you are going to try to accomplish this, I would highly encourage you to go look at that other video, again, that I'll link down in the description that showed you more in detail how to get this door off. But basically, you see here, there's 3 T25 screws, including one hidden one. Then the door pops off, and I remove this little layer of felt to expose the controls. This whole piece of plastic is going to pop out. It just has some clips pointing in, and there's some here on the end that are actually facing back this way. When you know what you're looking for, this actually does pop out really easy, and I realized later the video was kind of dark, so I tried to get you a little bit lighter video here in the aftermath. And now that you have this all pulled out, the next step is you're going to start putting the little light itself into place. Again, wired down like so. And once you get it into place, you'll see the little top lip of this actually here is going to tuck up inside, and the bottom lip, which is going to be double stick tape that we're going to remove that little one side in. But first, let's just kind of line it into place, keeping this little wire as free as possible. So as I kind of push this into place, I'll show you this from a couple angles, including this top one here, just to show you that little recessed lip slides into the gap of the car where it really makes it look factory. Okay, so now that I've got that little handle mostly in place, the next is start figuring out what we're going to do with this little wire here. Now it is going to be all tied together with these little zip ties, so take these little twist ties off, but actually save these because I ended up reusing these. Once you have that twist tie off, you're going to notice you're going to have 2 little ends that are actually both female. I'm only going to be using one of these for this whole install because actually what they do is they leave you an extra in case you add more illuminating accessories in the future, which is kind of cool. They're thinking ahead. It's the shorter one here that's going to connect to that door handle. I'm going to end up feeding this shorter one through from the inside of the door out to where this handle area is before I connect it and then pull it tight to get that slack out. So you might have noticed when I first took this door apart, I hooked this little top lip back up on it. I do that several times because it's easiest for me. Then I just kind of fish this wire through. And if you already have that little bottom panel removed, it makes it really easy to push this wire through because you can see daylight. So make sure you pull that little step out first. Then what you see me working with here is there's that little white wire that you saw all along. I did my best to kind of tuck this in all the way around, but I was really careful with it because it looked like it had the potential to be fragile. I don't know that there is an exact right way to do this. Once you actually have the handle pushed on how it goes, you only see a tiny little bit of this white wire. And once you have that, and only once you have that fully snapped into place, I pulled off that backing of the double stick tape and really snugged it in there good. And now you'll see me unclip that door from its little ledge again. You notice here I got my couple wires. So now we got to figure out how to get this power. So you are going to have this little set of wires here, which is actually just going to be a T. So you're going to have the big black one with this nice rubber coating around it. You're going to have the small one here, which is like a white male. These are going to tap into where you get this light right here. Now it's possible to get your fingers in here and get this, but as I've always shown you before on videos, my little fat fingers have trouble getting in there. So I like to use needle nose pliers to help crimp that little release button and pull out at the same time. So as you'll see, I pull out the little wire into this, and then I just consume that T. One wire I pull out goes into the light, and the other one I pull out goes into the wire that came out of the light. Then I just bunch up all the extra wire. And we use that twist tie I referenced earlier just to kind of control all the wires from not flopping around. And again, making sure to put this felt sheeting back over to keep everything safe and insulated. And then one last time, I'm snapping this door back up into place on that top ledge. Again, if you need instructions doing this, consult that video I referenced earlier. It'll be down in the description below. As I see it here, you kind of get that little look. I'll eventually move to the back door, but while I'm doing that, I would like to reference, I will leave the link for this product down below in the description. I got this from a company I've gotten many accessories for. The company is called Tlyard. They've agreed to give any of my viewers a 20% off code. So I'll leave my channel name, Charisma, down in the description below. If you use that, you'll get 20% off any of your orders. The only trick different about the back doors, there's only 2 screws to pull out and not that hidden third one like there is on the front. Now I'm going to blow through the installation of this second door only because it's so nearly identical to the other one that I don't want to bore you. Although the handles that go on the rear doors are slightly larger, they do still all fit in the same way with that wire feeding down and that top lip tucking into the gap. Again, you can see I'm utilizing the method of hanging that door off and on as I go throughout the process. Again, use the needle nose to separate the wire. Be careful using those needle nose that you don't accidentally slip off and snip a wire. I've done that in the past. And the same thing. Tee that wire in and out, put the little felt back on. That's important for the insulation I meant earlier. You will feel a draft if you don't put that back on. Then I just went by systematically, snapping it all back into place, and there she is. The back door is good to go. And I literally almost forgot to pull this handle back off and remove that double stick tape. It actually fits pretty good without it, but it is better to have it. And there she is in the daylight, back door, front door. And here's me doing the back door in times 32 speed because nobody wants to see this process 3 times. That's it, we got them all in. Now you should just see them at night, so let me bring you back for that. And as I mentioned at the beginning, these lights are controlled from the screen through that little lights tab. They change with the ambient lighting of that little halo around the whole car. Every color that the ambient lights have, these have with them, and they totally match, as you see them cycling through here. And while they do look best at night, they do show up here in this parking garage I'm in also. There we go, now it matches my shirt. Now if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you do so, because I will be adding on to these lights, as you saw earlier, the capabilities of that doing so, to seeing how else in the car I can get these all to sync together, because I'm now seeing just how cool these are. As always, thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.